Hi, you are in final week of your preparation for the PT examination. This week your PT is happening and you may be having lots of anxiety, lots of stress and lots of questions in your mind. I have been seeing this over 3 decades. I know what is going in your mind. I know the kind of stress that you're having. Let me identify those stress and then try and see as to what we can do about it and what we should not be doing about it. Well, one thing I think you may be anxious about is that some time that you may have wasted, maybe some celebration, maybe some health issue, or maybe some reason you wasted time and your mind is stuck with that, hey, I wasted those time. But tell me a person who has not wasted its time. Everybody has had in the long period of preparation, some time was wasted. So that's a common thing. You should not be worried about it because you're going to compete with the people who also have wasted their time. You may be having anxiety of the fact that, hey, I may not be very prepared. Well, I have met people who got highest marks in the country and they were saying that, hey, sir, it looks like I'm not very prepared for this examination. And they ended up getting highest marks in the country and one of the top scorers in final ranking. So they were also not prepared. And if you're not prepared, I suppose that's a common thing. Another thing I'd like to burst is that you are unsure about the trend. This trend keeps changing. I mean, what kind of trend is going to come? I have no idea. But let me tell you, this trend is going to be same for everybody. Any person you are competing with is going to getting the same question. So the trend, if it is changed for you, is changed for others also. Also, you have the fear that, hey, if I fail, one full year cycle will start. I think failure is a possibility. I met a lot of students who are giving their interview in their fifth attempt and fourth attempt. Two of those students is very clear in my mind. I must tell you about them. When I asked them, hey, what happened? Why are you writing? You look so bright. And then the person said that, hey, I could not clear PT in all my 4 attempts. I was so surprised. Then I was curious to ask them, hey, what did you do to clear this examination? Then she answers, sir, this year I was not at all scared of failure. And that's a beautiful lesson I got. This is very important. So if you get less scared of failure, the failure look for somebody who is scared of it. I think that is also, if you're worried about failure, everybody is worried about failure. And if you're not, you definitely are moving ahead. You may be having the fear that I have not revised everything that I studied. Hey, who can revise everything that one has studied? I know, take my word for this. There are lots and lots of people who cannot even think of revising everything they have studied. So that's also fear that you have got, an anxiety that you have got. Don't worry about it. The others to whom you are competing with, they also have not revised everything they have read. Also, you have the fear that, hey, I may have forgotten what I have read because I cannot recall. But the good news is that UPSC gives answers also in PT examination. And you just cannot forget. You just cannot forget. And when the answers are given, I suppose you can always pick up. Those signals would come at that time. You may not be able to recall them looking in the sky. But definitely when the options are given, you can always pick it. Also, in some of the FLTs that you gave, there you got lower score. But I have got like so many students who have been scoring low in the test paper. They ultimately have got higher marks. Because most of the time, coaching institutes or those people who conduct test series, they try to pitch little higher so that they are able to really make you struggle, make you work harder, and then you are actually, it's like you're practicing running on the sand so that you can run fast on the track. And that is why if you have scored a little lower, everybody scores a little lower in the tests of the reputed good institutes. And that is a very common thing. Also, you have a problem with respect to time management. And you just find out one person, if the person is not lying, is not having the problem of time management. Everybody is having problem of time management. So all the problems that you have got are the common problems. These are all very normal. I want to tell you now at this stage, do not worry about a problem considering those problems as your unique problem or your individual problem. These are common problems. They are with everybody, and if they are with you also, so what? Let it be, because I'm going to compete with the people who also have got the same problem. A few things I like you to keep in mind at this stage is that you should, in the last 1 week, should give more focus on the high weightage areas. From where we have been getting more questions, you should be doing that. You should be working towards time management, and that's very important. I would like you to do some state effect also. First thing, you should not sleep during the sessions when the PT exams are held. Also, I would like you to sit down during those times of the PT examination, the 2 sessions, every day and give the tests. You can skip Saturday, but then for every day of the week, I would like you to give tests during that time. Also, I would like you to do good self-care. Self-care, I think physical, mental, both. And I think I normally have been advising people to meditate, hydrate, and sleep. Meditate, hydrate, and sleep, the 3 important things which you must be doing during this week, and that will calm you down because you have been really rushing very hard. You have not been nice to yourself for all these weeks, I know. So it is important that you should little bit calm down yourself, calm down your nerves, and then approach it a little more carefully. Also, I would like you to do some logistics arrangement for on Saturday. So you know that what all papers need to be carried, what all things to be carried, the location that you need to visit, and how you're going to go there, what you're going to do during the time between the 2 sessions that you have got. All those things, I expect that you have to be very clear mentally during this time. Also, I would be I think it really works. Spend more time this week with the people who are your well-wishers. They will give you a lot of positive energy, and that will really, really help you. Also, I would see that spend time with the previous year's question. This PYQ time that you're spending with, I'm sure that helps you setting the frequency with the kind of questions that are coming. Do not get worried and panicked if you do not solve some questions, but do spend time with those PYQs. They are very important. A few things I must add it here that you should not be doing at this time, and that is you should not start reading new things, too many of them. Because I have seen that people, when they start really stretching themselves too much, it gets overwhelming. Because ultimately, there's no end to the kind of resources that you can take your hands to. Also, in the examination hall, I would like to advise you, do not panic if you find some questions that you are not able to solve. Do not mentally extrapolate that, hey, this is all kind of questions are going to be like that. No, that's quite possible. If you get a few questions, 2-3 questions in a series which you have no idea, stop there, start after a gap of a few questions, and you'll see you can always get back to these questions. And again, do not do any experimentation in the examination hall. All what you have done, you should be executing them rather than experimenting new things at that time in the examination hall. Also, I would like you to avoid long sessions during this time. This may tire you at times. Also, I would be saying that a suggestion that you should be giving in the examination hall is that you should tell yourself, hey, I have to be a little more careful in my reading. I have to be a little more careful in my reading because a lot of time I have found quite a few students, they come back to me after PT examination. I wish I read it a little more carefully because I knew the correct answer. I missed out on this. So every 5-10 questions you tell yourself that I have to be a little more careful, your mind pitches to that high level of concentration, which is what is expected. Otherwise, sometime it may just tire you and it becomes monotonous. Also, I would say that you have to be doing some careful reading and also give yourself, trust yourself, and I think trust your preparation. In fact, if I want to conclude it, that there should not be no self-doubt at this stage. Because in this week, only thing which can stop you is your self-doubt. So I think trust your preparation, trust yourself, trust your abilities. And then also, when you have trust in yourself, I'm sure you can do it. I think a lot of students who in their several attempts of PT failures, if they have had, I suppose it is their trust, which, as I was talking about one student who has come and done so well. And remember one thing, that even if you're giving first time, you have the chance of topping the country. I mean, if you have not cleared many times, you can clear this time, and you may have got extra edge of preparation of mains you can utilize. So trust yourself, trust your preparation, trust your abilities, and then have no self-doubt. And I'm sure I'm going to see you very soon for your mains preparation. My best wishes.